Keir Starmer and the Labour government are dangerously undermining the right to privacy with their recent push to force tech companies like Apple to grant access to encrypted data. This move threatens to pave the way for a totalitarian overreach, where government powers could infringe upon personal freedoms under the guise of national security. By prioritizing surveillance over civil liberties, Starmer's Labour risks eroding fundamental rights and setting a dangerous precedent for future abuse of power. The UK government has requested access to encrypted data stored by Apple users worldwide on its cloud service. Under current policy, only the account holder can access this encrypted information, and even Apple cannot view it. The demand comes from the Home Office, which invoked the Investigatory Powers Act, IPA, compelling tech companies to provide data to law enforcement authorities. Apple has not commented publicly, but has previously stated that it considers privacy a fundamental human right. Because of the nature of the law, the demand remains confidential. The Home Office declined to confirm or deny the existence of such a request. Privacy Group. Privacy International described the request as an unprecedented attack on personal privacy. Caroline Wilson-Pallo, the charity's legal director, criticised the government's approach, saying, "This is a fight the UK should not have picked," and warned that it could set a dangerous precedent, enabling authoritarian regimes to exploit similar powers. The request applies to data protected by Apple's Advanced Data Protection, ADP, which uses end-to-end encryption. This means that only the account holder can decrypt and access the data, not even Apple. While the service provides added security, users must choose to activate it, and the downside is that if access to the account is lost, the data cannot be recovered. It's unclear how many Apple users utilize ADP, but it's important to note that the request would not allow authorities to randomly scan all users' data. The Home Office would likely only seek to access data in specific cases, such as when there is a perceived national security risk, and would still need to follow legal procedures for each request. Apple has previously stated that it would rather withdraw encryption features like ADP from the UK market than comply with such government demands. The company has also said it would never implement a backdoor to its products. Cybersecurity experts agree that creating such entry points could make devices and services vulnerable to malicious actors. The Investigatory Powers Act extends beyond UK borders, applying to tech companies with a market in the UK, even if they're not based there. Although no government has successfully forced companies like Apple to compromise encryption, previous attempts, including from the US, have faced resistance. In 2016, Apple famously fought a court order requiring it to create software that would allow the FBI to access an iPhone. The case ended when the FBI managed to access the phone through other means. The Home Office claims that encryption enables criminal activity by helping people conceal their communications. The FBI has voiced similar concerns regarding ADP. However, experts like Professor Alan Woodward of Surrey University expressed shock at the news, and privacy group Big Brother Watch called the reports troubling. They argue that such measures, while intended to fight crime and terrorism, could undermine fundamental rights and freedoms, ultimately harming the general population's privacy more than benefiting national security. Furthermore, children's charity, SPCC, has argued that encryption makes it harder to combat child abuse, as it enables criminals to hide illegal content. However, Apple maintains that user privacy is central to its values, and it has previously challenged efforts to change the Investigatory Powers Act, calling such moves an unprecedented overreach. Cybersecurity expert Lisa Fort of Red Goat pointed out that even if the government succeeds in accessing encrypted data, criminals and terrorists could simply switch to other platforms to avoid detection. As a result, it is law-abiding citizens who would suffer the most from losing their privacy. Under Keir Starmer's leadership, the Labour Party has shown a disturbing disregard for fundamental rights, particularly the right to privacy. His willingness to endorse measures that compromise personal freedoms and pave the way for state surveillance reveals a troubling authoritarian streak. Rather than standing up for the people's privacy and civil liberties, Starmer seems more interested in appeasing power-hungry government autocrats, putting the UK on a dangerous path toward totalitarianism.